So I wanted to do kind of a quick video as a kind of closeout video for my solidoodle. I wanted to cover some of the upgrades I've made to it over the past year and how I've basically made it work better and improved upon its original design. I've been using this machine for about a year now. It was my first 3D printer, and unfortunately after tomorrow I will no longer have access to it as I'm being laid off from the job where I get to use it. So hopefully in the future I'll have a chance to work with a lot of other printers besides just this one. I've already had the opportunity to work with a few others since I learned this one, including Affinia and a few others. But as far as this printer, I've been very happy with it. I've been very pleased with it, especially as a beginner tool. I would not recommend it for someone who does not necessarily have an engineering background or is a bit of a steep learning curve using Repetier host. But once you get some of the basics down and kind of get past some of the temperature settings, it works a lot better. The first improvement you can see here that I made to it is I'm using a glass print bed. It's just a simple mirror. I bought it online for $2. It's an 8-inch square mirror. It has been placed on top of the original aluminum bed with capped on tape. The second improvement I made was moving the filament from behind the machine to the top of the machine through a simple little spool stand that I found on Thingiverse. As you can see here, I kind of had to print a coupling to make my PVC pipe work right. I designed that myself. The third improvement I made was when I picked up some new filament that had a very small opening for a spool stand, so I had to design my own spool stand. You can see here it's a very simple kind of snap together spool stand with no nuts or bolts needed, and it fits very nicely onto the frame of my solidoodle. It has a very nice little spool guide to help keep the filament from unraveling. And finally, the last improvement that I have made just yesterday would be connecting my 3D printer to a Raspberry Pi to make the printer work wirelessly. This is something that I had read about a while ago and really wish I had done this sooner. I mean, this is my personal Raspberry Pi, not really meant for my company, but so I will be able to take this with me, and unfortunately I cannot take the 3D printer with me. But as you can see here, I have a Raspberry Pi with a Wi-Fi connection and a USB port going out to the printer, and of course a power going to the Raspberry Pi. So that pretty much covers my solidoodle 3. Hopefully in the future I'll be able to own another printer or even build my own. This is kind of my sign-off video for the blog on the solidoodle 3 3D printer.